Look around the room and see who's swimming with you in this ocean of devotion. And feel the impress of the Holy Spirit that's surrounding us right now as the great host. The host, we call the presence of God the host because the presence of God is not merely in all of its creation. All of the creation is in the presence. So the presence is always hosting us to recognize what we're surrounded by, immersed with, and totally release ourselves to it. And so that this divine presence, which is love and beauty and intelligence and life itself, as I like to say, gets to know itself as us. As I have taught over the years, this presence is consciousness itself. It is wisdom. It is pure intelligence. However, it wants to know itself as you. So as you have insights and revelations into your glorious nature, that's the presence of God knowing itself as your very life. So you are needed, you're important, you're significant, because this presence has never made a meaningless act. So your life is magnificent. Just wrap your arms around yourself for a moment and just say, my life is magnificent. I celebrate my life. I feel the celebration oozing through me right now. Regardless of the world of appearances, my life is oozing with infinite possibilities. You want to say that part again, the last part. My life is oozing with infinite possibilities. Scream about that. So as we're rising above the fray of human experience in the world of appearances, you have heard the theme of the month, which is beyond and beyond. That which you can really trust. We're invited to explore, living in a space that's beyond where the mind has been programmed, hypnotized, living beyond the narratives of lack and limitation, scarcity and not enoughness, living beyond everything that has programmed the mind to for us to live in the realm of what we know and keep expanding what we think we know, pretending to grow, develop, and unfold to our greater yet to be. The real movement into expanded awareness is moving into the unknown, so you're not merely extending your opinion and expanding it into the future. You're actually releasing opinions, points of view, perceptions, and all the ways that our mind has been taken over by society, taken over by governments, taken over by media. We're going into the realm of the unknown, unknown to the ego, unknown to limited perception, unknown to limited positionalities, so that this infinite presence can have its activity in and as each and every one of us. Our spiritual practice is about breakthrough. We are becoming spiritual warriors, meaning we're breaking the inner boundaries of separation. A physical warrior is protecting boundaries that are drawn by man. A spiritual warrior is breaking boundaries so that we can begin to see as it really is. We're coming to an understanding this month that of what we can really trust. And there are two foundational pieces that we can trust. Obviously, we can trust the divine presence that is never in the absence, the same yesterday, today, and forever, but is beyond believing in it. It is beyond having a point of view. It is actually having an insight into that dynamic realm. So we're trusting the infinite. We're going through our heart and trusting this divine presence. And the other thing that we can trust is our spiritual practice. Those are the two foundations. You trust your practice. You trust your spiritual discipline until it becomes a blisscipline. And even when the mind has been caught by a narration of I don't feel like it, you practice anyway. You trust the practice which yields to insight and revelation, healing and wholeness, and compelling right action as the insight takes over your life. So as you're trusting those two pillars, presence and practice, then you break free from the mishigash. Is that a word, Reverend Susie? I got to check in here. You break free from the mishigosh of the human experiential realm of which people get caught in those particular narratives, and they live very small lives in fear, doubt, worry, lack, limitation, separation, anxiousness, and anxiety. Not you. Not here. Not now. Topic: minimal expectation. Full participation. Great celebration. We learn to live in a consciousness of minimal expectation, meaning we're not living constantly being disappointed when things aren't turning out the way we want them to turn out. We're not living in that kind of an expectation, so the Spirit of the infinite can flow and unfold according to its uniqueness and order. I got so much energy here. Let me slow down. So that it can flow and unfold according to its pattern, not our limited point of view of what we think should happen, how we think it should happen, what should and should not be. We live with a minimal expectation, but with a full participation. That is, we show up fully participating in our spiritual practice to have revelations and insights into the nature of reality, fully giving ourselves whatever our particular task is in any given moment. We're not a bystander, we're fully participating, so that in that full participation, we begin to celebrate simply because we are alive. So there's minimal expectation, full participation, and the celebration simply because we are alive. Expect nothing, celebrate, celebrate everything. Expect nothing, celebrate everything. So that the vibration, as I've taught over the years, is we're not here to be anticipants. We are here to be participants. So when you're praying, when you're meditating, when you're surrendering to this ineffable presence, when you're doing your inner work, you are in full participation in the nowness at this moment of what truly is, not anticipating or expecting something in the future. You're in it in that moment. The moment you have that practice of connection, you are fully participating in your own life, and then the unfoldment of that now moment shocks and surprises the ego, which has an idea of what things should look like. So at this particular moment, we're standing up and stepping into practice and presence as a way of life. So what does it portend for us in this instant? In a time in which we are no longer trusting in programs of society that are even now dismantling diversity and inclusivity and equity, we are aware that as these programs are being dismantled as a way of being in our particular country, whether it is the acknowledgement of the Holocaust, whether it is the celebration of the Japanese culture, whether it is African American culture, whether it is the contributions of LGBTQ, it is our call at this moment to not get caught up in the program of society and what individuals are trying to do and suppressing and limiting the full expression of humanity on the planet. Our role is to go so deep in love of each other, so deep in love with each other that we transcend the anemic programs that are seeking to birth themselves on this planet. We transcend those anemic programs because we love so deeply each other. We love our magnificent Japanese brothers and sisters. We love our First Nation people. We love our black people. We love our LGBTQ people. We love people so deeply that the programs become so anemic because the celebrations just burst out all over. The love just burst out all over. The way we take care of ourselves bursts out all over. So this is our time on the planet to allow small minds that are trying to inhibit full expression of humanity to see that it has no power. Zero. There is, as I call, a pseudo power, a power that's pretending to be strong. And then there is the real power, which is the presence of God, that is strength itself, This is our time. So let the decay be shown. Let the decadence be shown. Let that which has been hiding under the rug be shown. This is our time to go so deep in the love of God, so deep in the love of each other that it doesn't even bother us. We celebrate Black history anyway. We celebrate those that are remembering the Holocaust anyway. We celebrate our Japanese brothers and sisters anyway. We celebrate LGBTQ anyway. We celebrate the full spectrum of humanity. In this way, the small narrative of the presence of the small narrative of human beings who think they're in power, they will see how inert they are as they implode. They will implode. I'm giving you a prophecy here. They will implode because of the short-sightedness of temporary force to diminish the full expression of humanity. It will not happen. The universal presence and its universe does not go backwards. It only moves forward, and even when there are repressive ideas and programs, it's still moving forward. And all that means is there will be a crisis, and there will be tension, and there will be implosion, but fear not, little flock. It is God's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. But here's the deal. What you can trust is your practice. Because what does your practice do? Your practice takes you out of the world of appearances as the farmer, as the arbitrator of your reality. You're able to see it. It's like the 91st Psalm. With my eyes, I can see the reward of the wicked. I can see the seeming law of cause and effect. I can see all that stuff. However, it does not enter into my consciousness because I'm making the Most High my habitation. This is not just pretty words. This is what you can trust. You can trust your practice. Just like an Olympic athlete will run or swim or whatever it is that they do on a regular basis, they trust their practice. So in the moment of game time, the practice takes over as the Spirit uses their practice to take them beyond their planning. Minimal expectation, but total participation and this constant celebration. I'm inviting you to practice now. I'm inviting you to practice such a deep love of each other. I want you to go out of your way and love people that don't look like you. I want you to go out of the way and love people that don't share your same sexual orientation. I want you to go out of your way to love people that don't have as much money as you. I want you to love people that are seemingly different from you. That is the way we will rise up against the repressive regime that is seeking to inhibit full human expression. We will step up and we will say Jew and Gentile, God made them all. We will say Protestant and Catholic, Buddhist and Zoroastrian, and God makes them all aspects of the one. So all of this repressive thought about what's really a human being or what's really an American is simply pseudo-power whistling loud to prevent their feeling their fear and their cowardness. We're stepping up in love. We even love the haters. We love them more than they love themselves. We love all of those people who would try to repress us or oppress us. We love them because, as the great teacher said, they have no idea what they're doing. Forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Now, they know what they're doing in the physical, but they don't know what they're doing to themselves. They don't know what they're doing to their own soul. They think they are God. In a limited way. They have forgotten that their life is the life of God and we're all connected. So my call today, our call today, is for us to go deeper in love. Start with the people around you that annoy you. And then expand out. They're probably your family. Not mine. Start with those that annoy you. I had a practitioner session this week, and the woman was explaining to me that whenever she listens to the president, she just loses her center. I said, stop listening. You're going to be informed as to what's happening. I want you to listen to the one. I want you to listen to the presence. I want you to be so girded in your oneness with the power and the presence and the love of God that you can see the emperor wearing no clothes and bless even the hater, so that we're lifting the vibration in frequency. So at some point, since we're all connected, whether an individual is a hater or an individual who is a lover, we're all connected. And as we're lifted up, we affect those who are sleepwalking and gently nudge them awake through the vibration of unconditional love that we are holding. I want you to know that you're more powerful than you think you are. You're more powerful than any program. You're more powerful than any book burning. You're more powerful than any history that's trying to be erased. You're more powerful than all of that, because none of that can be erased. It's all in the noosphere of the planet. It's all going to be remembered again. It's all going to be written down again. You cannot stop it. You can't stop it, you see. And so I want you to know how powerful you are. You got to know this, because if you submit to being less than who you are, then you can be controlled by fear, you see. But when you come when you come out of your prayer session, you come out of your moment of meditation, you come out of your moment of studying truth principles that go beyond denominations, when you come out of that, you begin to see, as Susie likes to say recently, Reverend Susie, your consciousness becomes your greatest asset. You're walking in the consciousness of this great presence, this great love, this great life that is everywhere. And yes, your personal life does change. The chemicals in your body temple become more tonic. There's a flow to your immune system, the coherence of your brain. You have a personal blessing. Yes, you get healthier. You have a personal blessing. Yes, doors open and greater prosperity flows into your life, or greater opportunities to be prosperous or to be creative or to express yourself. Yes, but more than that, because you're connected to humanity. As you are lifted up in this dynamic, not just believing in it, but actually having an insight of it, you become a way shower. Vibrationally, you become a vibrational way shower that absolutely allows the next great expression of humanity to be born. It's going to be born through you. You got to catch this now. It doesn't just happen. It happens just through us. So as people come together not in fear. People come together not in hate. People come together not just fighting against. People coming together and absolutely allowing what we're meant to be to unfold. That's why we vision. Allowing what we're meant to be to unfold. We become the dominant frequency on the planet. It's happening already, by the way, which is why it scares certain people, you see, because it's already seeping. At last 40 years, this conversation 40 years ago was woo-woo. Talking about thought, and thought transmutes into speech and behavior and expression and manifestation. That was woo-woo. What are you talking about? Manifestation. What are you talking about? Visualizing and envisioning. What are you doing? That's not going to do anything. Now it's all corroborated by science. That when you stop, and instead of waking up and going back to the past, you wake up, you have the same mood you had yesterday. Say you wake up, you have the same, you run through all your problems every day. No, that's the past. When you wake up in the morning, you begin to submit yourself to what's trying to unfold. I want you to hear that. You open yourself up to newness that's trying to unfold every single day, so that you are being pulled by a meant to be. You're being pulled. A strange attractor field is pulling you into your real destiny, just as the oak tree is pulling the acorn to release your littleness, that I can come forward. There's something within you that's pulling you to be greater than you ever thought you could be. Not greater than other people. Your own greatness, your own realness, your own real identity. And so you can, as we're celebrating the the contributions of African Americans at this particular time, we're always reminded this isn't black history, this is American history. It is American history through the contributions of African Americans, you see? That America would not be America without us. There would not be jazz, there would not be computer science, there would not be heart surgery, Dr. Charles Drew. There would not be so much. And that's true of every culture that has come across these shores. You see? Everybody's made a contribution. Don't take this wrong, everybody, because I love everybody. Not just straight white guys. Everybody has made a contribution. Everybody. And I love my straight white brothers. We're tight, okay? And they know that. Anyway, take a breath with me here. Release. Let's go back to the beginning. In terms of beyond, meaning beyond limited narratives, beliefs, opinions, points of view, and what we think we know. If you take a dot and put it on a big wall, that dot represents what you know. Everything surrounding that dot represents what you don't know. So we're going beyond the dot. That's why we meditate and pray, not to influence God, but to be influenced by the presence. This presence that is broadcasting itself everywhere. The key to receptivity is thankfulness and celebration. Simply because you're alive. Now you're available. And you say, oh my God, that was grace. Oh my God, I got blessed. No, you got out of the way through gratitude and allowed the blessing to take place. Now, so, I keep trying to get through this, but energy keeps flowing. So, beyond limited points of view, what can you truly trust? You can't trust governments, self-serving, politicians, self-serving, not all, but many. You can't trust the society in which we live in terms of the fact that many people are just bought and paid for by lobbyists. You cannot trust the programs of dismantling the embracing of all humanity on the planet. You trust the infinite presence, and you trust your spiritual practice. You take any practice, playing the piano. You may not know from the beginning how to do it. But if you trust it, you keep trusting, you keep coming back, eventually you start playing. Eventually music comes through. Trust the practice and the presence will come through. I'm inviting us to always be a practicing community. That is what separates us, and I don't put anybody else down, from other communities. We're not waiting to die to go to heaven. We are practicing. The realm of ever-expanding good is here, and the kingdom of God is within. We practice that in our prayer and meditation until it becomes more real to us than the vicissitudes in the world of phenomena that will always be there. When the great teacher said the poor will be with us always, he didn't mean money. He meant consciousness. There's always going to be sleepwalkers. There's always going to be people who are trying to bully you. Take what's not theirs. There's always going to be people who aren't awake. They're with us. However, you will be untouched as you continue to rise in this great readiness. I trust my spiritual practice of thanksgiving and gratitude every day. I trust this presence that has made itself known through and as me in ways that shocked me in my life. I trust that. I trust that. I trust that. Whew. Come with me. Come into this dynamic. Beyond. Minimal expectation. Don't think because something's not conforming to your limited point of view that something is wrong. So that's the minimal expectation. You have minimal. You don't become attached to it. Don't become attached to what you think should happen. That because you're limiting the infinite from coming through. Then you begin to participate. I am fully participating in loving, forgiving, generosity, creativity. I am fully participating in my life, and I'm celebrating everything. Woo! You do that for 7 days, I'm not going to recognize you. The people around you won't recognize you, and some of them may get a little nervous being around you because you're not gossiping. You're not complaining. You're participating in the realm of ever-expanding good. Let's lift our hands up like this for a moment. There's a vibrational bridge within us. It's over the seeming troubled waters. Peace, be still. And we're here to walk across that bridge inside of our own consciousness right now. That's our greatest asset, right, Reverend Susie? That's our greatest asset. Our awareness, our consciousness. Yes. Woo! Okay. Keep your hands up for just a moment. This is receptivity. This is a physical, symbolic expression of receptivity. Now, how you amplify receptivity is being thankful. Remember, the Spirit of the living one is always giving of itself, but we're growing in our graciousness to receive it. So just say, I thank you. Say, I give thanks. I give thanks for my life. I give thanks for my breath, the beating of my heart. I give thanks that I don't have to assimilate the nutrition that I ate this morning. It's happening on a subconscious level. I give thanks that the law of my being is keeping me alive. So in this in this consciousness of gratitude and thanksgiving, we move into this dynamic prayer moment, and we increase our recognition of the presence. Sometimes it becomes easier to see it in others than in ourselves, so we love the examples of those who have withstood the iron feet of oppression and have rose up anyway. We appreciate Charles Drew. We appreciate Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman. We appreciate Jim West, who would not be able to speak on a telephone or an iPhone without him. We appreciate all of these beings. But what we're appreciating is that spark of divinity within them that created creativity. It's within us too. We recognize God everywhere. And in this deep and soulful recognition, that sense of oneness overtakes us. The surface mind, the egoic mind is scared of it. Oh, I'm dying, I'm melting, I can't control everything. Oh my God, it looks different than the way I thought it would live it. But bam, blessings happen. Woo. We're recognizing His presence and feeling so one with it that we're able to proclaim, my life is divine. My life is magnificent. Oh, yeah. It's a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Oh, yeah. Unfolding good. Oh, our life is beautiful. And our life together as a community is magnifying the Lord. Oh, my God, let me just say this. When you study evolution and you realize that the arbitrator of our viewpoint of evolution was incorrect. They used to teach that it was the survival of the fittest. That's being thrown away now. Because he was investigating baby species. All species that survived form a community. Hybrid vigor. They support each other. So an isolationist point of view destroys. But a oneness together community point of view, all talents and gifts are there. We step up in this sense of oneness with an awareness that all of us are rising together. We're rising together, oneness with God. I speak the word for each and every individual, knowing that we're free today, we are untethered and totally free from lack, limitation, fear, doubt, worry, anxiousness, anxiety. Because we're trusting in the presence closer than our breathing, nearer than our hands and feet, trusting in our own spiritual practice, coming back to the well over and over and over and over and over again, waking up in it. When we're feeling good, when we're feeling bad, we trust in His infinite presence.
Trust you, Lord. Trust you, Lord.
Are you willing to be whole? This is real, because this pieces of a narrative in individuals that they're afraid of being truly whole and complete. They're afraid of being prosperous and successful and creative, because it means they're going to have to break some habits. They're going to have to shift relationships. They're going to have to change some things. Are you willing to be whole for real?
I'm willing, yes.
Prosperous.
Yes, Lord.
Healthy. Happy. Celebratory. It is in this consciousness of willingness that I speak the word for each and every individual, saying yes, that divine and compelling right action moves through them. Divine wisdom moves through them. Divine intelligence moves through them. Infinite peace moves through them. They become the vehicles and the instrumentalities and the agents of a higher consciousness. Oh, think about that. You're an agent of a higher consciousness. People say, who are you? I'm an agent of higher consciousness. I love it. Reverend Jason loves that too. You take a breath, and we feel this. Feel this. Woo.
When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. When times get rough and friends just can't can be found like a bridge over troubled waters. I will lay me down, and like a bridge over troubled waters, I will lay me down. Ooh, my.
Feel that.
Yeah.
A vibrational bridge over the seeming troubled waters. Peace, be still. Waters run deep.
Yes, they do.
Whoa.
Whoa, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Don't trouble the water. Leave it alone. Why don't you just let it be? Yeah. The still waters run deep.
They run so deep.
Yes, they do.
Within our own soul.
Oh, yeah.
Expand your awareness or your attention. And let us, these individuals who I'm about to name, they're in your field of consciousness. Just as all is in the field of God,
yes.
All of these beings are in the field of your consciousness right now. And as you're lifted up in the rarefied atmosphere of absolute truth, you're making a
Holy
difference.
Spirit.
Even if you don't know these beings.